Yo, what's up, world? It's your boy Flotsco here, and this is going to be a quick video, also known as Philco. I just thought of something. A lot of people just love saying weed is the gateway drug. It's bad because it's a gateway drug. They think it's even worse than cigarettes because it's a gateway drug. Well, in that case, if weed is a gateway drug, then cigarettes, is a gateway to cancer, nigga. That's how you're going to get cancer. It's a gateway to cancer. Which is worse? The gateway to cancer or possibly the gateway to another drug? Now, I know not all people who smoke weed do harder drugs, and I know not all people who smoke cigarettes get cancer. But the thing with cigarettes, what makes it dangerous is that it's legal. And so a lot more people do it out in the open, when they party, when they're drinking. Some girls do it when they're nervous, after sex, whatever. So it is more dangerous simply because it is legal. So let's pretend the same amount of people were smoking cigarettes as the same amount of people were smoking weed. They're both legal. Which would cause more harm? Well, let's look at it this way. When you're doing weed, and it's legal, the odds of you dying from it, extremely low. Like, I think for every one person who dies from weed, if they ever do, for every one person, I would say at least 100 people die from cigarettes. That's one. Two, if weed is legalized, that's going to actually, well, I can't front. If weed is legalized, that would make drug dealers have to sell something else, and they'll start selling harder drugs, possibly. Because let's say, all right, you're a drug dealer, you sell weed, and then one day weed's legal, so no one's buying your shit, they could just get it from the store and not go to jail. What are you going to do? You're going to try to sell harder things. Yeah, that's true. That is I guess is a little downside of it, but still, like, so fucking what? I don't think drug dealers should ruin something great. I think it would be great if weed was legalized in America. But other than that, I don't see any other bad outcomes of legalizing weed. And imagine if cigarettes were illegal. It would be the same shit. Cigarettes are legal, and people are still hustling cigarettes all over New York City. Lucy's, I got Lucy's because they're so fucking expensive and they're very addictive. I think cigarettes are more addictive than marijuana. I really think I could go and say that cigarettes, they are more addictive than marijuana. So you want to know something else? I don't know how marijuana got such a bad rap. I really don't know. I really don't know how it got such a bad rap. Like, who started this? Where are the statistics on deaths? Now, marijuana does cause some deaths in America. Definitely does. That comes to like drug dealers and shit. Like drug dealers and stuff, Where it's illegal, people sell it, sometimes you get killed over it. That's kind of, not because you're smoking the weed, it's because you're dealing with the weed, you could die. But that's not really the weed's fault, just because it's illegal, and so it's a good way to make money. But for instance, I remember my friend, I used to have a friend I hung out with every day. And you guys might hear about this, because somehow, someone brought this up on one of my, on one of my videos. They left it as a comment to say I was a pussy or something. The situation was I had a friend. I knew him for a while. It was like on and off, He's a white dude. He's not too smart. He's kind of a sneaky guy, but I loved hanging out with him all the time. Like, we were supposed to start YouTube together. And him being himself, he didn't do what he was supposed to do. I did what I was supposed to do. And I accomplished my goal, kind of. Our goal when we started planning making videos was not to stop till we got to Ukraine. That was our goal, to go to Ukraine, because we both love Ukrainian girls. But sure enough, I'm here in Russia, whatever, touring the whole country, seeing all these people we used to talk to on the internet together. I'm the one meeting them, and he's not. So, besides that, and I can give this out because everyone in my neighborhood already knows it, so I can just say it. He was dealing or whatever for some, I don't know what they were, like some white guys, Italian Americans, not the mafia maybe, but some Irish white guys. They're Irish. He was selling for them, but the dude, I told you, he's fucking sneaky. He's not trustworthy. So what did he do? He ended up smoking half the shit. Just like from Friday. The same shit from Friday. I didn't smoke anything with him. I didn't. I might have took one puff. It was just like Friday. Because whenever I saw the guy, he owed money, I'm like, yo, there goes Big Perm. It was just like that. I was like, Big Perm is right there. He's going to fuck you up. So eventually, these guys were pretty damn dangerous. But I think the only reason this guy's really alive is because my homie Andre has a good friend with a high reputation. that's probably the only reason this guy's still alive today. It's because of his friend with a high reputation. But he didn't get out scot-free. So we hung out every day. We've run into these guys numerous times. They probably talked to him, whispered something to him. They never touched him. I was with this guy every day. They never touched him. They never even looked at me. Then one day we're walking, nighttime. I'm with my two big black friends, Steve and David. Steve is not too tall, but he's mad big. David is like 6'5". And he had his dog with him. His dog, rest in peace. He had that dog for so many years. The dog died. But at this time, the dog was alive. I forgot what kind of dog it was, but it was huge. It was fucking gigantic. It was bigger than the dog I had in Rostow and O'Donnell. It was big. Big dog. So there was one white Russian guy with us named Roman. So it's me, Roman, Andre, my two black friends, and a dog. Basically 6 bodies ready to defend somebody if needed, right? So as we're walking, car just stops. 3 white dudes hop out the car. Now to this day, I don't know, and it doesn't matter to me, it really doesn't matter. I don't know if my homies Steve and David were in on it. Because I know they knew these guys would get out the car, which are the guys that Andre owed money to. They just kind of immediately stepped to the side. Because now that I think about it, they immediately just stepped. As soon as the guys got out the car, they stepped to the side. So what happens is, one guy is like the leader. The one who Andre just really fucked over. He's the leader, so he gets out screaming, get him, do this and that. One guy starts beating his ass. And then the other guy first comes to me, and the first thing he does is come to me and goes, don't jump in. And I'm like, all right, nigga, I know what this about. I ain't got nothing to do with this. So they all start beating his ass. Now, while they're beating his ass, it's not just me watching. It's me watching. My friend Steve watching, my friend David. Now, Steve and David were never really friends with Andre. I think they just respected him because I hung out with him. But the white guys who were beating his ass, Andre's white too. The white guys who were beating his ass on the floor over the drug shit, kinda know David and Steve. Kinda. So I kind of think they were all in on it. But like, I guess if it was a deal, the one deal was just leave Phil alone, do what you want to Andre. That's why they never touched me. And I guess they waited till David and Steve were there to beat his ass so everyone could see I didn't get touched. I don't know. But it was just so strange how David and Steve just didn't give a fuck. Just kind of stepped out of the way. And the Russian guy, Roman, he was just, the white guy, he didn't know what to do. He was just kind of scared. So basically he gets his ass beat. Then after he gets his ass beat, I help him off the floor, and I'm like, so how you feeling? It's like, all right, I've had better days. And we just kept on hanging out. Now, this is the funny part. I guess it's not funny. And yes, I'll tell you right now, Dre was a real close friend of mine. We were mad close. He was almost like a little white brother. Dude used to wear my fucking clothes every day we went out because he didn't have any money, and I always had money back then, and I always would lend him shit. You know what I mean? But he was schooling me to the game, like drinking and women. He schooled me to it, even though he was younger. Like I said, I matured kind of late. So I picked him off the floor, and, we spoke about it right after the fight. I was like, look, you know why I didn't jump in? You know what you did. And he knows what he did. He did wrong. He knows he did. This was not some random attack. We've been expecting this for a long time. And all honestly, 2 things I hope. 1, they wouldn't bother me with that shit. And 2, they wouldn't kill him. That's it. If anything else, you earned that. You don't fuck with drug dealers. You don't fuck them over. You don't fuck them over. And that's what happened. So we talk about it. Now, my friends Steve and David, they were gone by the time the fight was over. The fight was maybe 45 seconds. Some guy came outside with his Captain Crunch badge, was like, I'm a cop, stop this. No one listened to him. They kept beating him up. So I was like, where'd these guys go? Where'd they go? Then I hear, like, from a distance, ha, 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 like real hard laughter. And I'm like, wait a minute. Let's walk this way. And we walked there for like a minute in one direction. I'm like, wait, everybody listen, shut up. Ha, ha, ha. And then I'm like, this way. So basically, I followed the laughter of my friend Steve because he was laughing so hard about how Andre got beat up because I told you they didn't like him. They disrespected him. They disrespected him because he was my friend. We ended up finding them like 5 blocks away in tears, just laughing. They were laughing. And then my friend Andre, he didn't give a fuck. He's like, whatever, you guys are assholes. And we all kept hanging out. So I know that story sounds weird. So for those of you who know about it, some people commented in the comments about it. That is exactly what happened. So I'm dead ass. Like, if you feel I should have helped him fight in that situation, I don't agree with you, and I don't give a fuck because I don't fuck over drug dealers. If you fuck over a drug dealer, the rule of the streets is you catch it, and I'm not going to defend you. Only person I could possibly defend, even if they fuck over like even if they fuck over drug dealers, probably like pure blood family member, like same mother and father, or even half brother, or like maybe someone I see as a cousin that I knew since growing up. Those are the only people. Other than that, man, you asked out. Even if you're one of my homies in my crew, you asked out if you fucked over a drug dealer. You should know better than that shit. You should know better than that shit. And it wasn't like they were accusing him. He actually did it. And that's basically it. Just start off talking about basic weed, and now I'm talking about the time I let my homie get his ass beat because, hey, you are what you eat. Later.